Good morning, friends, followers and channel members. A daytime stream. It seems like a long time ago since I had the opportunity to do a nice daytime stream. Here we are in Alicante. It looks rather cloudy as well this morning, and quite a long flight for us as well today, about 2 hours 30 minutes, so hopefully we should have a lot of chance to chat, relax and enjoy as we fly almost a northerly straight route from the south coast of Spain all the way up to Manchester. It's been a long time since I flew into Manchester, so really looking forward to that arrival. It is my home airport, or certainly my closest, largest international airport. So really glad that I found an opportunity to do this, and we will of course have Macco Simulations wonderful scenery available when we get there. This scenery here at Alicante is freeware, available from flightsim.to. Really nice looking scenery as well, so go ahead and grab that if you wish at some point. Let me just clear the stream starting text. There we go. We are on VATSIM, although a quick look around shows that there isn't any air traffic control sadly with us today, but never mind, we may get some ATC as we fly en route. We'll have to see how we go. But in terms of this airport, I'm just going to give you a quick look right and left of this, because I do think this is another one of those really highly detailed freeware airports. There's so many of them, but some just stand out for me, and this one is really nice. I don't know if there's a payware version of this airport available, but again, this is probably one of those opportunities I would take to stick with the freeware, because it does just such a fantastic job. Same as the Gatwick freeware mod, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. So good morning to those of you in the chat, the Easyjet Sim Pilot channel members. Good morning, Barry, Simon, Christian, and Barry, you've been a member for 4 months now. Oh, you've got your captain stripes. Thank you so much, Barry, for your continued support. That's great to see. And let's have a look and see who else have we got in the chat this morning. We've got Gorka Velix, Thick Moisty, and Roll Call TV, Mark and Jenny Shaw as well. Thanks for coming on board, you guys. Ron1XZ, hello, and JK is here with Zex and Treadweaven as well. Good morning to you all. Thanks for flying with us this afternoon. I say this afternoon. It's 11:24 a.m. still here in the UK, so still morning. Transport Gamer, hello to you too. Think Moisty, no, we're not streaming on Twitch. There is a technical reason for that, but today we are purely just on YouTube. Fitzy, good morning to you, Fitzy, or good evening, should I say, in Australia for you. And Michael Spector, hello, and Armitage 4926, thanks for dropping on by as well. Right, let's jump into the flight deck. We are in the turnaround state, as you can see. Everything is sort of semi set up, and we'll go and do our flows, get the packs started, and commence boarding pretty soon. So let me just quickly go through. We've currently got the QNH 1013, and I haven't given you guys our operational flight plan today, have I? So let me just quickly go ahead and pop that into the chat for you. Bear with me 30 seconds. So there we go. The operational flight plan should now be pinned in the chat in YouTube. Treadweaven, yes, this is the payware mod for the jetways. I say payware, it is so cheap, which is another reason why I really like it. Look at that detail. Really like that. And it obviously affects all default jetways, which obviously this freeware Alicante airport must use, otherwise they wouldn't have been affected. So payware airports that have got specific handcrafted jetways, they're not updated. It's only the default Microsoft ones. Crazy, hello, good morning from Tampa in Florida. Good morning indeed. Wow, it must be early over there. Right, so I'm just checking the standby instruments. That's all good. Let's come down to center console, everything where it should be on here. Not just on here. Oh, hang on, that's not where it should be. That's popped out onto standby. Not just checking everything here, but also checking my physical hardware, the Thrustmaster thrust levers and add-on pack. Everything is where it should be physically as well. We'll come up to the glare shield. That's okay. We'll get flight directors 1 and 2 on. I think current QNH here is 1013, which is nice. Our initial climb out today, I believe, is 6,000 feet, but we'll check that in a little while. But I'll pop that to 6,000 just now. And we're in a turnaround state, so obviously the IRS alignment is fine. And we'll just check the ECAM status. All is good. We need to start some refueling, so let's go ahead and over to the flight pad, and let's pull that in, and then we'll go to operational flight plan. Now, I've already had a quick look through this, as I'm sure you guys will do if you've just downloaded that. As we're flying along, we have got 8 tons is the plug fuel, but there is a chance that it could get a bit nasty this afternoon going into Manchester. So I'm going to throw an extra ton on there. So we're going to take 9. We're going to take 9 tons. So let's go with 9 tons in total, and we'll start that going. So refueling is now underway. Alex Goodfellow, good morning to you. Hope you're well. Reactionary, how do I display all the altitude, etc. The bar across the top of the screen? That is a streaming overlay. You can't get that in the simulator, so I can't actually see that. Only you guys can see that. I can't. It looks almost a little wet, doesn't it, in places, the apron, so I don't know if it has been raining here. Let's get the APU on then. So 1, 2, 3, and we'll start that. I think Wednesday it's meant to be 33 degrees in Sydney tomorrow. 30. Mind you, you're coming up to your summer, aren't you, in Australia? We're very quickly approaching winter. That said, it was 17 degrees here yesterday in the UK, where I was. 17 degrees on the 27th of October. That is very unusual. Paul, good morning. Hope you're well. Right, so whilst I'm waiting for the APU to fire up, let's just start adding the aircraft weights. So I'm just going to double check. We've got a payload there of 17576. Let's just cross-reference that with our operational flight plan. 17576, that is correct. That's a zero fuel weight of 63.8. So we'll check that. There we go. Yep, that's okay. Right, let's pop that in then, and then we'll use self-loading cargo to get our passengers boarded. Onto the data page. IRS 3 nav green, and aircraft status. Just check that Airac cycle. Yep. So we've got LEAP engines, valid Airac cycle. Over to the init page. We'll use the ACARS to uplink our flight route. Antrak, good morning to you. Peter, is this version 1.1 alpha of Pilot's Alicante? To be honest with you, I am not 100% sure. I can't remember the last time I updated this. Right, so our alternate today is Birmingham, and our flight number, it's an Easyjet call sign. That's rare. Easy 56 Tango Whiskey. And a cost index of 8, flight level 380, and a temperature of minus 58 degrees. The tropopause is 38,000 feet, or near enough. 38,002 feet to be precise, but 38,000 feet. The simulator rounds it up or down anyway, so that's fine. Nick Burrows, hi Nick, how are you? Hope you're having a good day. What have you got on today, Nick? Are you lounging around and enjoying a flight with us for the next couple of hours, I hope? Diffuse morning, do we know what the winds are like into Manchester? We certainly do. We can go ahead and we can request that now, but we'll obviously do that en route, and you can also see the TAF, the Thermal Area Forecast, on the operational flight plan, which is why I knew I wanted to load some extra fuel. Christian, you're off to start your Windows install now, or reinstall, should I say. See you in a few minutes. See you soon, Christian. Good luck with everything. Man, I don't envy you. Okay, so the APU now has been running for a good minute or so. Let's get the APU bleed on, and we'll start the chrono, and then with that we'll wait 1 minute, then we'll get the packs on, then we can start getting passengers on board. Right, so our flight plan today, departing runway 28 on the Mythos 2 Charlie departure, and insert. Then arrival into Manchester is runway 23 right, the other runway is closed of course. ILS 23 right, and that is the Dane 2 Alpha, good old Dane 2 Alpha. Got to be careful not to confuse that with the daily arrivals. And no veers, we're not going to be going over the Mike Charlie Tango VOR, so we'll go no veers for that. And insert. Just scroll through, check for the discontinuities, and I just carry on going through all there. Shouldn't be any discontinuities from here on in. Yeah, no, that all looks good. David, has FlyByWire rolled out the TCAS yet on the experimental branch? I don't think so. I think there's still a couple of things they wanted to change. I mean, it can't be far away. It really won't be, David. So, not long at all now. Nick, you're lounging around and doing a flight in the USA at the moment and watching this. Ah, fantastic. Whereabouts in the US, Nick? Danny Rubble, good morning to you. You just did your first aerodynamics exam. Went well, you think? Oh, Danny, I'm sure it did. Sure it did. We're on Unicom. I don't know if anyone just heard a little bit of VATSIM traffic just there. Right, on over to the RadNav page. What do we need to put in the RadNav page here? I need to put the Altet VOR in there. ALT. And I think that is it, actually. Now, I've actually, because I'm using a single monitor for streaming today, I've pulled the Navigraph charts in here. Let's hope this works. Oh, I forgot I've got to link this. Just bear with me, guys, 1 second while I link this up. I normally have 2 screens available, but today I'm unable to do that. So I've brought the Navigraph chart back into the simulator just for the stream today, but it does mean, of course, that I have to link it. We could have gone really realistic and used the flypad, but it just makes it a bit easier sometimes, I think, this, doesn't it? There we go. And I'll prefer night mode as well. So yeah, that VOR that I've just popped in there is the Altet VOR. If you just stretch that out a little bit. Oh, where's that gone? There we are. Okay, so that's our departure. Let's just minimise that for the time being. Onto the init B page then. So our zero fuel weight and zero fuel weight centre of gravity. Are we still loading fuel? We are still loading fuel, so I can't do that for the moment until, or I can't calculate it until that is all completed. But I can put the headwind in, which is a headwind of 7. Then we'll go ahead and do that. Well, in that case, let's just do a little bit of a brief for the time being. So let's just talk about where we are. We are obviously at Alicante. We're parking stand 35 Alpha, which is right on the corner, just here. So we're going to push back, and then we're going to face east. And then from there, we will taxi down via Delta onto Charlie 3. And then Charlie 3 takes us all the way down, and I have some performance information as well from HD. I just need to check whereabouts that departure was from. That's from Charlie 7, so we're going to take Charlie 7. And we'll pop that into the perf page in a moment. The actual departure itself, we have a speed restriction, max of 220 knots, so we will probably pop that in, because it's quite far out. It's 9.5 miles, as you can see, throughout this turn, so there's a good chance we'll be above S speed by that point. So let's minimise that, just check on how this refuelling is done. We've still got another ton to refuel. Tell you what, let's just skip a page. We'll go back to it. We'll go to the prog page. Sorry, the perf page. So transition altitude here is 6,000 feet. Thrust reduction acceleration is 1044. Same with the engine out acceleration. Flaps 1. And we have a flex of 49, I think it is. Yes, flex of 49. And the V-speeds 148, 148, 149. Okay, so now that speed restriction will make a little bit more sense. So, we could actually fly it at S-speed because clean speed is 9 knots above that max. So we'll fly it at S-speed, which is 204. Let's go ahead and pop that in there. So we'll just fly all of that departure at flaps 1 until we clean up, and then we can accelerate away. There it is. Now, how's that refueling going? Oh, passengers. Should we let them on?
Cabin crew, refueling is underway and the bags are starting to get loaded, so let's open the doors and allow our passengers on board. Thank you. No problem.
Okay, so passengers are boarding. I'm just waiting for that fuel to be loaded. I think it actually is, yeah, fuel's all done. Right, now let me just go back a page to the init B page. Now I can pop in there the zero fuel weight and zero fuel weight center of gravity. Planning 7.1, and we've got 8.9 tons to work with. That's a takeoff weight of 72.5. Our performance calculations were for 73 tons, so that's all valid. And our alternate fuel is, let's call that a ton for the alternate fuel, which gives us an extra 36 minutes flying time. Right, with the refueling complete, let's go ahead get the fuel pumps off. We can say goodbye to external power as well. APU is powering the aircraft nicely, so let's get rid of that. Seatbelt signs can come on as well. And then I think our air... oh, what's crossfeed doing open? Oh, should we close that? I think now our cockpit prep is all complete. And we're ready to do our departure briefing. So if anyone's got any questions, I will have time to answer those a little bit later on, but just whilst we're doing the whole setup, let me just go through all of this, get us into the air, and then we've got plenty of time on this flight to relax, chill, and answer any questions. So one of the things I do want to check is I just want to go to that plan mode and see what that departure is actually looking like. So if I just maximize these charts for you again, so you can see that doesn't look exactly how it should do. Where's my chart gone? I'm not a great fan of this app. I do find it a little bit clunky. Particularly when my chart doesn't actually even appear. There it is. Right, so as you can see, we essentially fly straight out on a runway heading to a distance of 9.5 DME from the Altet VOR. We then make a left-hand turn to come back in around and intercept the 345 radial at a distance of 6.3, and then we make a right-hand turn. I can see the Alt 4.2 is showing just here. Slightly, oh actually no, that is that this one just there? Yes, so it's not matched up exactly, so we're going to have to do a little bit of raw data flying. That's okay, but let me just get the VOR1 turned on there, so now we should be able to see that in a sec. I did pop that in there, didn't I, in the RadNav page? Let me just check. Yeah, 113.8. There it is, 1.3 miles. Right, so we'll make a left-hand turn at that point and enter the 345 radial. Well, I can use the fixes page to help with this. So if we go to the flight plan page and pop that in, and that radial of 245. There we can see. So we fly out on runway heading 9.5 miles, make a left-hand turn, max speed 220. We're going to do that at flaps 1 config to come in and around and then intercept the waypoint. Actually it is, it's just there. For some reason the line's drawn slightly skew-whiffed, but there it is, we can see it. If I just go back to the flight plan page. Ah, there we are. So that's all set and done. We can then go direct, and the autopilot will get us out of here then nice and smoothly. Okay, so let's do a brief. So, first things first, here in Alicante the weather is fine. A little bit cloudy, but nothing that's going to stop us getting back in here if we had a problem. So yeah, weather is good. Runway 28 for departure. The aircraft is the A320neo experimental version from FlyByWire, complete with working TCAS as well. We're still on that testing build. No times to be aware of, nothing here at Alicante. Threats to be aware of, obviously we have the speed restriction and we've got terrain to the north and to the west as we depart, so we can't miss this turn. We also need to make sure that we're aware that minimum safe altitude is 5,900 feet in this sector, and then we come out and it obviously starts to drop off 3,500 a little bit, and then 3,000 once we head out over the Mediterranean. Oh, is my mouse not showing? 1 second, let me change that, and then you can see what it is I'm attempting to describe. Okay, so that should be better. The taxi we've already briefed slightly, but we'll do it again. So we're going to push back, face east. We'll then taxi via Delta Charlie 3 to Charlie 7. We're then going to take off runway 28. It's then going to be a departure straight out on runway heading. We'll maintain flaps 1, make this turn at S speed, distance of 9.5 miles, left-hand turn, keeping us below 220 knots. We'll then intercept that 245 radial, at which point then we'll go direct and follow the procedure as the flight plan has got coded in. Autopilot will work and take care of that for us. After the turn's done, we can obviously go back to managed speed and clean the aircraft up as we accelerate away. Okay, so hopefully straightforward from that point of view. Let's have a chat about if things go wrong. So there is no ATC here on the ground on VATSIM at Alicante, so if we have a problem while taxiing, we'll stop the aircraft. I'll make a quick call on Unicom. If it's a problem that I can solve there and then that's great, and we'll run any ECAM drills, anything like that, depending on what the failure will be. If not, we'll have to obviously taxi back to the stand, and it will be a very short stream. On departure, my takeoff, and any problems or warnings before 100 knots, then I'll consider stopping, but after 100 knots and up to V1, I'll only stop for uninhibited ECAM warnings, cautions, such as engine fire or failure, and that's with or without thrust loss, or of course if I think the aircraft is completely unsafe to fly. If that's the case, I'll make this decision to stop and I will call clearly stop. I'll go max reverse, keep the aircraft nice and straight on the runway, use manual braking as well if auto brake isn't doing the job that I think it should, and if we have an engine fire warning, I'll attempt to point the aircraft into the wind as well. Once we come to a stop, we need to stow the reversers, set the parking brakes, and then we'll just take a moment to confirm why we have stopped. Once we've established the cause of the failure, we can either complete the ECAM tasks, we'll vacate the runway, or of course if it was something more serious like an engine fire, then we'd consider running the evacuation checklist. After V1, however, if we get a failure, then we're committed to getting the aircraft into the air. If it's an engine failure though, we'll fly using a standard technique. I'll fly the aircraft 12.5 degree pitch and use the rudder to counteract any yaw, following SRS, and once the aircraft has got a positive rate of climb, we'll get that gear up, trim out the yaw, and then engage the autopilot. Toga will also be an option, as well as we're doing a flex takeoff today. It's a non-standard engine out departure, so we're going to pull that heading book nice and early, as we can continue out on runway heading for 9.5 miles, but our non-standard engine out departure here tells us that at 3 miles from the ALT VOR we need to make a left turn to the Magal holding point, and I'm going to pop that into the fixes page as well in a moment, just so we've got that on the navigation display. Once we're above 400 feet, we'll confirm the failure, run any ECAM drills. We could also then cross-confirm any guarded or engine switches, and then once the engine is secured and we're above the single engine acceleration altitude and we've completed that first turn, I'll push the level off, accelerate away, retract flaps on schedule, and then at green dot we'll go to open climb and set maximum continuous thrust. Once we are at least above 1500 feet and we've done the first turn, we'll then get to our holding point and decide what we are going to do next. Continue, return, or divert. Okay, hopefully no one has any questions following that. Let's close that down. And how are we doing, passengers? I think we're almost about there, aren't we? Last couple. Oh, there we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our Easyjet service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker, wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
That's great, thank you.
Okay, so I've just added the Magal holding point as well onto the navigation display, so you can just see that, which is, where's that? There it is. And I will just put the inbound radial as well for for that, should we need to enter the hold. The hold as well there is right turns. So with everything all set, I think we're ready to run the before start checklist. Final paranoia check. Everything on the overhead looks good. Come down here, I'm just going to check the fuel, make sure that's all nicely balanced. Okay, so before start checklist to the line. Cockpit preparation is complete. Signs are on and auto. ADIRS 3 nav green. Fuel quantity 8960 kilograms and balanced. FMGS is set and altimeter is 1013. Turn the constraints on as well.
Cabin crew, we're about ready to push back, so if you please down the door and cross check, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck this morning, let me welcome you on board this Easyjet aircraft as you settle in for what we hope is going to be a most enjoyable flight. The weather today doesn't look to be posing much of a problem, so we should have a nice smooth ride for you throughout the duration of the flight. And as the cabin crew continue making their last preparations, if you could please assist them by getting yourselves sat down, your seatbelts fastened, and make yourselves nice and comfortable. The ground crew have now finished loading the aircraft, and we're just about finished with all our pre-flight checks, so it won't be long until we are pushing back. If you could please give the cabin crew your full attention as they go through the safety briefing, we'd very much appreciate it. So on behalf of myself and the first officer, we'd like to say thank you for choosing Easyjet today, and we look forward to giving you a safe flight.
Just looking out the left-hand passenger window, you can see the terrain that we want to avoid in that first turn. Be beacon light, acupressure's in the green, and we'll set the transponder to standby. We'll also call the pushback tug. Do we have a real tug today? Ah, yes we do. So let's do our before start checklist below the line. I don't want to speak to the supervisor just yet. Before start checklist below the line. Windows and doors are closed and armed. Beacon light is on. Mobile phone, well, I'm going to turn that off in a moment. And parking brake is on.
Cockpit to ground. This is ground. Stand by. Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
Okay, while he's doing that, we'll make our call on Unicom just for any other traffic that is around us.
Standing by for pushback.
Alicante traffic, easy, 56 Tango Whiskey, stand 35 Alpha, pushing back facing east.
cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brakes set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
Yeah, we'll start in the sequence.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start engine 1. So, engine mode selected to start, and starting engine 1. Looks like we've got the entire airport to ourselves this morning. I do love the handcrafted airports where the taxi lines are all accurate with parking stands all clearly numbered. Makes it much easier when on VATSIM.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others.
Starting engine
If you
2.
land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. As the tapes
HD, this isn't default, it's handcrafted, but it's a freeware mod, so yeah, essentially it's free. It's awesome, isn't it?
When outside,
Looks
inflate by pulling the top.
really nice.
If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube.
So there is
There's a light
Delta
and
that we're going to head down.
reflective
We can stop our pushback there.
We also carry flotation aids for children.
Okay, pushback
Your tray
completed.
table
Please
must
set
now be
parking
stowed,
brake.
armrest down, window blinds
Parking
open,
brakes set.
and seatbelt
Parking brake
fastened.
set. Lowering aircraft.
We wish you a pleasant flight with Easyjet.
Ground startup is complete. You may
Roger. Good engine start. Clear it to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position, waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
So we'll just wait for our tug driver to move out of the way. Off he goes. Engine number 2 is about stabilised. There it is. And let's run our after start checklist once we've done those flows. So engine mode selected to normal. On the overhead, APU bleed off, APU off, anti-ice is not required, and then we want spoilers, rudder, flaps 1, and a trim of 23.2 or thereabouts. There we go. After start checklist, anti-ice not required, ECAM status is checked, pitch trim 23.2, rudder trim is 0. Let's do our flight control check. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, rudder, full left, and neutral. Okay, so our pushback tug is now clear. We'll announce our taxi intentions on Unicom. Alicante traffic, Easy 56 Tango Whiskey, taxi now via Delta Charlie 3 to holding point Charlie 7, runway 28. Straight down here onto the left. Have to remember to use the panning mode with the mouse, because during a turn like this I can't use the right mouse button because I would end up completely screwing up the taxi, given how the bug still persists where you can't steer when looking around the flight deck. And then once we're on this nice straight path, Charlie 3, oh, there's that bug. Oh well, no steering works. Now we're on the straight and narrow. Let's just get the TCAS, not TCAS, weather radar, even though it doesn't work, predictive wind shear. We'll set auto brake max, we'll ding the cabin, check TO config.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Let's do our PEDS check. So, QNH still 1013, no change to the performance, still going to be a flex of 49. Engine out procedure is non-standard, at 3 miles from the ALT VOR. It's a left turn to the Maggle holding point, 305 entry, 305 degree entry, and the hold is right turns. Departure matches sort of what we have in the FMGS. We're going to have to manually fly a little bit of raw data with that, but stop altitude is 6,000 feet and set. Now I just need to make sure I don't miss the turn for Charlie 7. If we do, it doesn't matter too much because we can go Charlie 8, which is a little bit further on. I think that's the next one, isn't it? Yeah, that's Charlie 5, so it's the next one. Okay, before takeoff, checklist to the line. Flight controls are checked, departure briefing is confirmed, flap setting is config 1, set, and FMA takeoff data is 148 blue, 139 magenta, climb, nav blue, 1FD2, 6000 blue, and flex 49. Transponder set, ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, flight bag is stowed. QNH. Did I have the QNH wrong? I have just double checked that. 1019. I am going to check it because I thought I'd set that prior to the flight, but let me just check. 1019. Ah, that's good spot. Thanks, HD. I checked that prior to the stream, and I even said on stream, oh, that's good. It happens to be the same as standard. Turns out It wasn't. There's Charlie 7. VATSIM controllers, if they are online, are also very, very good at letting you know when there has been a QNH change. So there's Charlie 7. We'll stop there, hold, do the final checks, line up and depart. Okay, our approach path looks clear. Check the brake temperatures. I can't see those being a problem. Yeah, 20 degrees. That's fine. All right then, let's get ready to go. Strobes on, runway turn off lights, all the other lights. Pack 1, Pack 2, transponder and TCAS.
Cabin crew, if you could take your seats for takeoff.
Velox, yeah, I'll let you into a little secret. I did press B at the start of the stream to make sure that it was correct. However, I've got two keyboards in front of me. Guess which one I pressed? Alicante traffic, easy 56 Tango Whiskey lining up runway 28 for departure on the Mitos 2 Charlie. HD, I did wonder if you were going to comment the fact that my nose had just encroached over that stop line a little bit. I almost predicted that that was going to get a little mention. So before takeoff, checklist below the line. Cabin is secured, engine mode selector is normal, TCAS TARA, packs are off, anti-ice not required. Okay, all looks good. Final paranoia check. Everything's good down there. And up there. Just get the flight pan up. Okay, right. Let's go, shall we? So, side stick half forward and take off. We'll restart the chrono. And set 50% N1. Engine stable, set takeoff thrust. Man flex, SRS. V1, rotate. Nav. Set climb thrust. So we're now flying out on runway heading until 9.5 miles from the ALT VOR, which you can see down at the bottom. Pack 1 back on. And we're into open climb heading mode. I'm going to put autopilot on now. Pack 2. So autopilot 1 is on. .1 miles. I will just start to see that nose raise up in a moment as we hold S speed. Did I put pack 2 back on? Oh yes. $7 miles. Have a sneaky quick look out the left-hand passenger window whilst we're waiting for the aircraft to reach that 9.5 mile marker to begin that left-hand turn. Simulator is looking rather nice this morning. 1 mile to go. And with no ATC about, let's continue our climb to flight level 200. So thrust climb, open climb, 200 blue. 9.5 miles. Let's begin that left-hand turn. Just keep bringing that around, and we want to intercept that radial. You can see that we've got the blue dashed line. Keep her going round. Now I don't know if this is a sort of bug with the flight planning software. HD will be able to tell us, as I'm sure he's flown this in reality, but I would imagine that the RNAV equipped aircraft in real life will do this without any extra teasing from me required.
We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time.
Okay, we're now through there, so we can clean up. Let's go to manage speed. Start to accelerate away, pass S speed, flap 0, disarm the spoilers, we'll release the cabin crew, and now we can go direct to ALT 142. So I think we're already direct to that anyway, but if we pop that in, that should put us into nav mode. There we go. 10,000 feet, we can get the lights off as well. And we'll get the anti-ice on as well before we enter that cloud layer. Ruby, this is the experimental version of the fly-by-wire. However, it's still a test version in that TCAS is working. And there we can see in all its glory the beautiful freeware mod of Alicante Airport. Looks great there, doesn't it? Okay, so we've passed 10,000 feet now. Let's get airports on the ethos, then we'll clear out the rad nav and tidy up the navigation display. There we go. So we're still a little bit too heavy according to the flight computer to reach flight level 380, which is our cruising altitude today, so we're going to go up to flight level 360. So let's set flight level 360, 360 blue. Velux, is the flight deck door still open? Oh well. I long for the olden days where you were able to go in and watch. I think we all long for those days, don't we? All looks good. Let's get the seatbelt signs off as well, and we'll get that anti-ice on. That looks beautiful.
The seatbelt sign has now been turned on. You are now free to move around the cabin and the toilets are now available. However, when in your seat, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Those navigation and flight displays still look so dark. I mean, my eyesight's rubbish anyway, but sometimes I do struggle to see them. So flight sim 1, 2, 3. So now you know the A320NX can climb itself according to the constraints. Well, that depends on how well the constraints have been programmed. Remember, it doesn't have a VNAV, so all it will do is it will just climb sort of in open climb mode or open descent mode, and then level off at any constraints that it hits. It's not giving you the best performance or best sort of rate of climb. It's still speed dependent. Vincent, hello! Oh, you've just missed the takeoff. Never mind, you're here now. If you've enjoyed the flight so far, then guys, please do remember to hit the like button on the stream. It really makes a huge difference to the channel. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notifications bell as well. I think it was something like 6 subscribers off of 17,000. That'd be a nice milestone to hit. Sadly, I am away this weekend, so they won't be any streams until probably Sunday night, if I'm back in time. Jordan, am I going to do Across the Pond? No, I'm not doing it. I still wouldn't feel comfortable doing such a major event without the hold function available, because you're going to have to hold. Doing Cross the Pond, you are going to have to hold, and if I've got to manually do that for 20 minutes, I'd go insane. FlySim 1, 2, 3, I do have Macco Simulations scenery. Yeah, one of our channel supporters, Macco Simulations, so we do have Manchester scenery waiting for us in a couple of hours' time. Vincent, you pop out the primary flight display, navigation display onto a second monitor. For some reason the brightness looks way better. That's a good idea. I found that when I do that, that you end up with a big drop in frame rates, or I do anyway. So that might be behind that. John Jet 2 and Piano Learner. Oh, thanks so much, guys, for subscribing. Still in this cloud layer for the moment. We'll pop out of that soon, I'm sure. So Danny says, to answer the question that I said, yeah, no, I think the question I need to know, Danny, is if, obviously, we know the aircraft could, but the coding needs to be there. So if that full procedure is coded in, it should be, because it's an RNAV procedure. So it's just the full RNAV procedure wasn't quite correct in the navigation database. Hey Christian, you're back, and now you're having to reinstall all your apps again. To be fair, mate, that did not take as long as I expected it to take. You've done well there. Christian in the middle of reinstalling Windows. Which one though, Christian? 10 or 11? I never asked. Velox, you do get better frame rates if you turn down the first officer screens. Just turn them off, because it's well, it's less graphics and computer power needed, isn't it? Ah, HD, I thought you'd gone quiet for a little bit. No problem, mate. We'll see you again soon, I'm sure. Vincent, yeah, it hits the frame rate sadly, popping out the displays. But the last sim updates have improved performance, so you don't mind. If you've got a computer that can deal with it, of course, then it's fine, isn't it? Absolutely no problem. Junjet, you've just realised you watched this channel without subscribing for the last month. Oh, Junjet, thank you so much. So glad you have now subscribed. Jugo, thank you so much for your €2 donation, and Airbus 320, 320, 320, 320, 320. Yeah, what a great aircraft. The whole A320 family. I know pilots have their favourites out of the 4. But thank you very much, Jugo. It's very, very much appreciated. Very, very kind of you as well. Hope you enjoy the flight with us this afternoon. Aguilas, you've just downloaded Windows 11 and it's great. However, Microsoft Flight Simulator does have some problems. Oh dear. Velox, there's a Singapore A350 now taxiing at Manchester in real life. Yeah, they have the 350, they have the Emirates 380, they have the Qatar Dreamliner. Great to see them all coming back since COVID, of course. Sean, hi mate, have I changed any settings since the last sim update? No, I haven't. No. And Robert, that is a very good question. Is Windows 11 stable for Microsoft Flight Simulator? I've seen a few people say that they are using it without issues, but I've also seen the opposite as well, so I'm not really sure. Ooh, TCAS traffic. I can see markers down there, look. That's nice. Flight Sim 123 says you don't know if you'll get Windows 11 because you don't have this thing, so can't install it. And read about it, said you can fix it by enabling something, but it could mess up your PC. I think you've just encompassed how people like me feel about doing updates. Charlie, have I seen the new Phoenix 320 they're working on? Will I get it when it comes out? It'll be study level, you believe. You can't call it study level, they don't like that. High fidelity, they like that phrase. High fidelity level. But yes, I am familiar with it. Christian, Windows 11 is not recommended for Ryzen CPUs at the moment. You'll get a 15% performance decrease. Oh, there's another reason not to upgrade then, as I am on a Ryzen 5 3600. Zhugi, but you still prefer the 737-800. Each to their own. We're all Airbus on this channel.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated. And if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Danny, you know, I'm not really into explain. Well, I don't have it installed anymore. But there's a Q400 coming really soon, so you've seen a couple of screens and it's a beauty. Yeah, I have seen that knocking about, and the Q400, great aircraft, but my word, you've got to concentrate and look after that thing. I used to have the Dash Q400 for FSX. RSA, Dulacy, you've been using Windows 11 for months now. You've had no major issues playing the simulator. Oh, that's good news. Robert says he's not going to update just yet then. Charlie, do I have the Airbus Thrustmaster kit? Yes, I do. Side stick, thrust levers and add-on pack. Oh, we can now get up to our cruising altitude. So, flight level 380. 380 blue. Lovely. Willie! Holy jeez! Hello, mate! How you doing? Not working too hard, I hope. I said right at the start of the stream, it's been so long since I've managed to get a daytime stream in, so I did wonder if you were going to pop along, if you weren't buried by spreadsheets. Alias, by the way, have you downloaded something for better looking clouds? No, it's sim update number 6 seems to have done something to make them look a bit better. Don't know what, but I think it's a slight improvement on sim update number 5. And Willie, yeah, you are missing the day streams. Me too, mate. Me too. Jordan, if it ain't Boeing, it ain't going. Sorry, wrong channel. Indeed. HD once booted someone for some for a comment like that. Although it was by accident, and he was very remorseful afterwards. Danny, they've even modelled a working toilet. Oh, come on. I can't even begin to imagine what people think that means. Oh, Wickstrom 777, hey mate! I was just saying, actually it was Wickstrom 777 that got banished. Yeah. I think after he did it, that's the first time and only time I've seen HD type into the chat. Oh crap. Willie, you have been busy, but you had to drop in. Ah, good stuff. Well, we've got a nice long flight. It's a 2.5 hour stream for you today. Flight Sim 123, any reason why my plane is now not climbing and now your speed has dropped? You're quite heavy, you took off 12 tons of fuel. 12 tons isn't that much. But without seeing your FMA's Flight Sim 123, it would be difficult to call that. Velox currently on the push from Macco Simulations Manchester to... oh, go on, where in France is that? Willie, it needs to be said that Microsoft Flight Simulator loves the Ryzen processors. I would have to agree. How are we doing with our climb? Flight level 340. Simon, with all the automation and fly-by-wire technology, a 777 is basically half of an Airbus. Yes, but which half? I mean, that's looking good again, isn't it? Nothing wrong with that picture. Jordan, you may have to leave and fly the 747 to get practice across the pond. If the holds work, I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. Danny says that he likes the A320 flight deck much more, but to be honest, it may be because of the flying model differences between X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Simulator, but while hand flying, the 737 feels much better. I'm certainly with you with the Airbus cockpit. The Airbus cockpit is just intuitive. I'm lazy. I am excessively lazy, so any aircraft that has a flow that starts at the bottom left and goes up, starts in the centre, goes up, starts at the right and goes up, and then just goes from top left to bottom right, middle left, middle right, far right to the bottom right, and then all the way across. Yeah. It's designed, it's the lazy person's aircraft. And I don't mind saying that. Flight Sim 123 for you, Gatwick scenery kills your PC. There's a lot in that Gatwick PC, in that Gatwick airport. I think I used the cut down version of it, yeah, because you need a beast to get everything out of that. Colin, you've just done your first VATSIM flight. Oh my god. How'd it go, Colin? Tell us all. So, Willie, how have I been? You've noticed I've had many evening streams. Hope all's well with the family and Simi. Or the family are just on a cycle of illness. We're just basically a petri dish between us. Still not 100%. It's not COVID, according to the tests. But I think it's everything but. I think the problem is, and this is the same for everybody, because everyone we know has been ill. Since humans have started mixing again, our immune systems have had 18 months off. So now they're having a bit of a party. Simon the Sim is looking lovely today, quite right too. Vincent, yesterday you did a 5+ hours flight from Bogota to Santiago on VATSIM with the experimental version. Everything worked out perfect and FlyByWire has done an amazing job. I second every word of that. Flight Sim 123, yesterday you did a flight from Aberdeen to Heathrow, nice route, with British Airways. And then Heathrow to Warsaw with British Airways on your flight to Warsaw. It was 2 hours, you got to crash the test upon touchdown, no! And have I tried the Tolis A340? No, I don't. I've only got Microsoft Flight Simulator installed now, so I don't. Morspeth, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome on board. Hugh, what's the best way of turning a GPS file into a plan file? On SimBrief, you can export it to a plan file. Charlie, can I recommend a good flight for you to do? The FlyByWire A320. Don't really mind the length. Charlie, what sort of level of approach would you like? That's a good idea for a stream, isn't it? You ask me what sort of level, how difficult you want the approach to be, and I'll try and give you some routes. Willie, man flu has been doing the rounds in our household here as well. We've not just had man flu, we've had women flu. We've had adolescent flu and we've had toddler flu. It's all been there. So Colin, it was scary. Did a few things wrong, but you learnt a lot. Well, Colin, I learned something on every flight. I still learn something on every flight. And that's how it should be. Pilots are continually learning. Danny says Bogota is so cool to fly in. Yeah. That's the one that's like sat down in a valley, isn't it? Where did you fly from and to, Colin? Oh, Christian, yeah, I forgot you were dead yesterday, weren't you? How are you doing, Christian? Are you feeling any better today? I infected Christian through the internet. Oh, Willie! Thank you so much, Willie, for your £3.21 super chat. 321 blast off. Thunderbirds all go. Oh, Thunderbirds are making a massive comeback in our house. Our 6-year-olds discovered them. and he's trying to get his younger sisters into them, and they're all quite happy watching Thunderbirds. But it's the computer CGI version now, and I'm like, dude, just go on YouTube, watch. You've not seen Thunderbirds properly until you've seen Strings. But thank you so much, Willie. Really, really appreciate that. Right, well, we've got about 500 feet to go, then we'll be at our cruising altitude. NI says, Charlie, Gatwick to Innsbruck is a good one. That depends on whether he wants to do Innsbruck, let's be fair. Charlie, you want quite a difficult approach to put the fly-by-wire to the test. Well, if you want to put fly-by-wire to the test, you don't want something like Innsbruck, because that's a manual. That's you that you put into the test, not fly-by-wire. Naples is a good one. Go into Naples. Yeah, anywhere to Naples. Flight Sim, why don't I do a stream one day, Gatwick to Innsbruck? Flight Sim 1, 2, 3, I've just told you. That means I have to think. Mac Alt Stars, we're coming up on cruising altitude. Fitzy is correct as well. The approach into Queenstown, New Zealand is quite challenging indeed. And there's Alt Cruise. Christian, you haven't been sick in years and then it hits you like a fire truck. Exactly, mate, that's it. Your immune system's been on holiday for 18 months. Oh, Colin, you did Gatwick to Edinburgh. Well, I'm glad you departed from Gatwick and didn't try to land at Gatwick. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, Gatwick would not be my first choice of airport to go to for a first timer on VATSIM, because it's incessantly busy. Justin 6, am I doing the return journey? No, afraid not. Danny, I did do Bogota, yes. I did do that once on a mileage Monday flight. Might even have been a long-haul Friday flight, it was that long ago. Oh, Velox, not Paro. No, I hate that airport. Plus, again, that's not a test of the fly-by-wire systems. That is all you. That is all you. Right. We're at the top of our climb. Okay, so all systems are normal on the eCam pages. That's good. Oslam will do a fuel check. Should probably get some en route weathers as well. Where should we pop for? Hey, let's have a look. We'll obviously want Manchester. So let's have a look where else we can go for with regards to our flight routing today. Normally, whenever you're doing a check of en route airfields for weather purposes, then just going for the big airports is normally good enough. So we've got Toulouse, Lima Fox Bravo Oscar. We can also have a look at Nantes, Lima Fox Romeo Sierra. And then we could probably put Bristol in as well. Although realistically, unless something major had happened, we'd probably be... oh, let's go for Birmingham. Put Birmingham in there. There we go. And that's everything we need for our flight today. Danny suggests doing Frankfurt to Split. Split is a great airport, particularly if you've got the scenery from Orbex. But again, depending on the actual, depending on the runway in use, if you've got to land on runway 23, then that's not easy. Hey Charlie, yeah, go to Naples, then let us know how you get on. Willie, you've been reasonably healthy, so to celebrate your health and your 20th wedding anniversary. My God, she's patient. We're heading to the wet, windy and cold island of Butte. Oh, lovely. Brian, when you look out of your side window of the flight deck, the clouds get really bright so you can barely see any detail. Is this normal? I don't know if that's some sort of like lens effect. Because you'll have all seen by now that if I'm looking out up here, then when you go down to the instruments, you're kind of blinded for a moment. But then if you get rid of the outside view and now look at it just there, well, everything comes back into focus and is much cleaner, and you can see again. And it's just the glare, which I quite like because I think that's quite realistic. So that's good. LYS Aviator, land in London City. It's doable, but not advisable. The 318 can do it. Andy, you once crashed into a mountain leaving Queenstown once. That was embarrassing. Was that on a live stream or VATSIM as well? Even worse. Vincent, you've... Oh, hang on, I've just lost that. You tried the A330. It was fun, but you prefer a proper model long-haul Airbus plane for flights. Yeah, you know, for freeway mod, it's fine. Charlie doing it on a keyboard is a bad idea indeed. I don't know. Hats off to anyone that attempts to fly on a keyboard. NI, opinions on Belfast. I like Belfast. No SIDS or stars, so you've got to sort of bring yourself in. And then it's an RNAV arrival there, isn't it? Nomad Piloting, the videos have been so helpful. You've been preparing for an APS MCC program, and I have been using your videos as reference for the FCOM SOPs whilst you sim. Oh, excellent. Oh, well, glad they've helped you, my friend. Thanks very much. Jordan, which airport should you fly out of across the pond? Boston is the shortest, isn't it? Can you actually still book? I thought all the across the pond slots had now been done. Colin, you did a flight the other day to Gatwick. It all went terribly wrong, and he asked you to hold at Willow. Oh, good lord! And you had to hold. Willie, great stream on Philville last week. Everyone was ripping the. Becky Bot. We've not seen her for a while. Did we have to ban Becky Bot? She did get a bit annoying, bless her. Right, we're at Oslap at 36 minutes into the flight. Oh, there we go. A couple of minutes behind schedule. What am I expecting to see? What fuel we've got there? Call that 5.4, 5.4, 6.6, between 6.6, 6.7. Oh, look at that. There we go, 6.7. Those weathers have come through as well. Let's see what's happening in Manchester. Manchester at the moment, 180 gusting 2.2, so it could be a bit blustery. Nice and variable as well. No clouds detected though. QNH 1002. Keep an eye on that. And then as we're approaching, we've got Bordeaux. That's fine. Although becoming a little bit windy later on. Nantes, Cav okay, all looks good there. And Birmingham is fine as well. Lovely. Nick, I think the night lighting looks so much better. So much better than it did. Heathermaster, good morning to you. Aviation Forever, why won't your autopilot turn on? A random guess without seeing your FMAs, I'm going to suggest you're in toga lock. Nick, or the olden days for Dark Fury, flying on a keyboard with us. And in Ryanair. Velox, you just had wind shear out of Manchester. Yeah, that sounds very, very realistic. The Cream Cheese Guard, do I fly any other aircraft? Yes, but not well. Flight 123 across the pond is basically an event where VATSIM staff all the oceanic clearance centres and all the major airports, and yeah, they basically give you controlled ATC crossing the Atlantic. Simon, Becky Bot will be living in your minds forever now, even though she's gone from most channels. I don't understand why people feel the need to create a Becky Bot. I really don't. Hugh, will I ever do a flight to Chambéry Airport? I have no idea. Nomad Paladins, anyone know how to tell if the auto brakes are active during the landing rollout? You should see them illuminate. The actual button should illuminate. Yeah, so I've put it on now. You should see when it's working, the actual button would illuminate up to show you that's working. Flight Sim 123, what should you do to calculate your top descent? Use the tablet or do it manually with maths? I think the tablet basically just saves you your mental arithmetic, so you can use that if you want. Me, I just do it with maths, really. I mean, if I wanted to now, I could become sort of very prepared very early on. I'm going to have to go back to the galley in a little bit and go and grab myself a drink. Feed the first officer. But if we brought up the Navigraph charts for the arrival into Manchester, the Dane 2 Alpha arrival, you can see here we've got descent planning. So we're on the Dane 2 Alpha, and we want to be flight level 200 at 25 miles before the Trent VOR. So you can work that out yourself, and obviously flight level 80 by Dane. So if we did want to work that out with a little bit of mental arithmetic, what are we at? We are at 38,000 feet. We need to lose 18,000 feet. 18 multiplied by 3 is 54. So that's 54 miles. But we actually need that at 25 miles before, don't we? So add 25 to that. That's 79 miles. So call it 80 miles. Call it 80 miles, and then I can go into my fixes page, put Trent in there, and just pop a radius around there of 80 miles. That's it. I've already done the top of descent for the flight. And if I go to the plan phase, we'll see that. So if I go back to the flight plan page and scroll through, oh, is it not going to show it on the flight plan page? Will it only show it on the ARC page? In that case, we're probably far too far away to see that. But it should be there. So that'll appear as and when. Christian, you always thought that Becky was a real and old lady because she always wrote your name wrong. If that's a bot, it's a stupid bot. Nomad piloting, yeah, there's no FMA annunciator for the auto brake. It's one of the other reasons why, if you check the landing call outs. So landing, you obviously flare, thrust leaders are idle, usually by 30 feet, and then at touchdown you go to max reverse or idle reverse, and then you need to check. We've got ground spoilers, announce those, reverse green, announce those, decel, which you'd announce, and then 70 knots, announce that as well. So yeah, there's no specific FMA for the auto brake. The Green Cheese Dog, God, would I think EasyJet will ever do long haul flights with like a Dreamliner? Nah. No. Thomas, you can't wait for the Skiathos Orbex Airport. You're refreshing the page every day to see if it's released. It won't be long, Thomas. Normally when they send it to me, I know it's not far away. Usually within a week. Musa, hi guys, I just like to fly with you. It's a nice sim. It is indeed a very nice sim. We've got nice views as well today. Okay guys, with that I'm just going to head back to the galley, go grab some lunch. I shall be back with you in a few minutes. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Please do hit the like button if you haven't done so already, and let's just have a quick check before I zip out of here for a few minutes. I'm just wanting to see how are we doing. If we get 5 more subscribers during this flight, we'll have hit 17,000. That would be a nice way to finish a stream, wouldn't it? Okay guys, I shall be back shortly. Thanks for watching.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight brochure. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Hey guys, so I'm back with you. Oh, life's never straightforward, is it? You think you're going to have a nice calm day and then something goes completely wrong. Anyway, it will not affect our flight on landing into Manchester, although if I could get a couple of directs that would be quite nice. I think our actual route towards Manchester today, however, is rather direct anyway, so I don't think skipping a couple of waypoints is really going to help. Let's just have a look. Basically, I think I need to be out of here ASAP, but let's have a quick look. Yeah, there's nothing there that's going to save any time. There's a potential to skip out the Uniform Mike 184 leg, maybe go direct well in, but realistically, that's not going to save off that much time anyway, is it? Ah, Christopher, welcome back. Thank you very much. Some kind of person has been playing the guitar in the flight deck. I knew I should have locked that door. Ryan, how much time will it take you to learn the VATSIM calls? That all depends. It really does. A lot of VATSIM calls are, particularly if you're IFR flying, a lot of them are just repeating back what the controller tells you. Hey Simon, welcome back. So let's have a quick jump back inside the flight deck and work out where on earth are we. Wherever we are, it looks blooming beautiful. Not a cloud in the sky. We're obviously over France somewhere. We are at Toupar, or we're 61 miles south of Toupar. Estring, are there free charts out there on the internet somewhere? They are, but usually the ones you find free are normally out of date, sometimes considerably out of date. So for use on VATSIM, really, it's kind of pays you money, take your choice, really. I wouldn't want to fly on VATSIM without up-to-date charts, and the good thing about VATSIM, of course, is you've got access to everything you need. You can plan your flight, and then suddenly if your controller gives you a different departure or a different arrival route and you haven't got the charts available, then suddenly you're kind of flapping around in the wind a little bit, aren't you? So we've been flying now for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Pushback was 1 hour 26 minutes ago. That's not bad. 11 minutes from pushback to departure. So what have you guys been discussing whilst I had a little break? Continuous descent approaches. Yeah, so continuous descent, Willie says continuous descent is quite rare in many UK airports. You don't experience it much domestically in the UK as a passenger. They're okay if you're coming into a quiet airport, but if there's a lot of traffic around, and certainly the moment you're told to enter a hold, chances are your CDA is gone. If you can do it, then that's great. And remember, they're only measured from about 7,000 feet, so a continuous descent approach isn't, for example, from my initial descent here, flight level 380, going all the way down to the ground without levelling off at all. So I'll do a fuel check as well in about 5-6 minutes, just to see how we're getting on there. Otherwise, all is quiet on the Western Front. Shall we see how Manchester's doing? Sadly, the fuel prediction page still isn't working. Willie's also says to Christopher, if you want some extra fun, try doing it in the CRJ. Christopher, I'm with you. I cannot fly that aircraft. Certainly not properly, anyway. Well, that company message came through quickly. Oh, those winds seem to have calmed down a little bit. 180 at 9. Still variable. Great visibility, no clouds detected. That's what we want. And according to TCAS, we have no traffic ahead of us either. For those of you that did download the operational flight plan, did anyone check out the SIGMET charts right at the bottom? There's some nasty weather coming in this weekend, I think, for Europe. I won't be flying this weekend. Looking at what's coming, I'm quite glad. Though I do have to drive down south tomorrow, which I just know the wind and the rain's going to hit, making my journey slow and laborious.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an Easyjet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
I think we would have been quite lucky to get some VATSIM ATC online. It's the middle of the day on a Thursday. Chances of that happening, I suppose, were a little bit remote. So thank you to all of you who have liked the flight and the stream so far. 83 views and 91 likes. Lovely. Oh guys, I'm so sorry. I've just realised my chat window had frozen. So I'm thinking, it's incredibly quiet in this chat room today. Oh, that would be why. Oh well, there we go. Thick Mercy, hello! The flight's been really well so far. It's been trouble-free and essentially boring, which is what every pilot wants. Flights that aren't boring means something's gone wrong. Rain, how much time will it take to learn the VATSIM calls? Yeah, so as I said previously, the VATSIM calls, if you can listen to, you can listen to live air traffic control now, and that's a great way to learn it. There's internet sites, or even there's an app. Is it Live ATC, the app? I think that's great. Just have it on in the background for an airport that you're familiar with, and you'll pick it up. Estrix, you don't want to buy Navigraph charts because you're a student and you don't have a job. I mean, that's fair. What is it? Something like £11 a month for the Navigraph charts subscription. Best thing you can do then, Estrix, is depending on which airport you're flying out of. I know there's quite a lot of free charts available for airports in the USA. I don't know about the UK. But in fact, no, they are available in the UK as well. The problem is you've just got to dig them out. Type into Google the airport ICAO code chart and then charts. So yeah, that's an alternate way of doing it. Martin Brandon, the stream overlay is from Flight Sim Studio. And I think most of you would ever do flights in Australia. We have done a couple of times, fly-by-wire test flights and the Mileage Monday long-haul flights that we do. So a couple of times I've done that. Willie, you did get reasonably clever in the CRJ, but you use a fixed speed rather than fixed VS and trim with the thrust to stay on profile. Though I still admit that's still far too much work for my mind. Martin, about to receive your TCA add-on today. You're one very happy bunny. Oh, Martin, good luck. Enjoy. Adds a whole other world of realism to it, doesn't it? Nomad piloting, have I got any advice on how to prepare for a type rating? I'm afraid I don't. You already know your stuff. I think that was the best advice I once heard. When you're going for a check ride or anything like that, just don't do anything different. You already know your stuff by the time you get there. If you don't, then you shouldn't be there. Captain Octane, am I on multiplayer? Well, I'm on VATSIM, so kind of, but not Microsoft's multiplayer. Hey, Chalty, how's your week off going? IbbyChibby09, hello to you. Rain, is it hard to learn VATSIM? It depends if you're coming to it without any previous flying experience, I guess. If you haven't got a clue what all the radio, how to fly your aircraft and what some of the radio transmissions mean, then yeah, it can be, but it is just practice. So we just passed to par at 1 hour 23 minutes. Let's see how we're doing. To par, 1 hour 22. We should have 4.9, about 4.95 tons of fuel left. Oh, look at that, just coming up to 5 tons of fuel. Fuel burn is as expected. I think most of you like to see me fly out of Sydney, as it's your local area. Maybe next time we do a fly-by-wire test, we'll go to Sydney for that. Oh, Willie, that's a good one as well. Don't anticipate what the examinator is looking for. Just do what you've been doing. Rain, you're good at flying, but you don't know the calls. Well, I'd certainly start flying IFR if you don't know the calls, because IFR is just repeat back what the controller said and then do as instructed. So we should be on the ground in a little over an hour. Not a single cloud in the sky. Yeah, as Willie said, you can do a. You can now join VATSIM as an observer. That's always a great way to do. Oh, good lord. I've just seen in my emails. So, my wife shops through my Amazon, which means whenever she orders stuff, I can see what's coming. And I've just had an email telling me that my package with 40 Halloween string lights will be delivered today. Wonderful. Oh, I am the Scrooge of Halloween. I can't stand Halloween. Maybe that's because I'm English and not American. I just don't get it. I really don't. Jordan, hello, you're new. Well, Jordan, stick around and then you won't be. I think mostly hopefully the stream will be around the same time as this one. Yeah, that's, to be honest, if I'm doing a fly-by-wire test flight, chances are most of those are in an evening here in the UK, so it'll be kind of early morning for you, I guess. So Christopher, you don't do Halloween either, you don't like it. Willie says that's definitely an English attitude. And the stuff that you buy for Halloween, it's just tat, isn't it? Aren't we meant to be ridding the world of plastic tat? They bought a doorbell the other day that's just hideous. And it's louder than the dog, and he's pretty rubbish. So, Ah, Nick, it's all about Christmas for you. See, I don't mind that. I love Christmas. Christmas is great. Christmas is absolutely great. I'm definitely no Christmas Scrooge, but I am most certainly a Halloween Scrooge. Maybe I got burnt at the stake in past lives or something. I don't know. Willie, yeah, exactly. Halloween? Nope, don't get it. November the 5th? Yeah, let's burn an effigy on the stake. Bonkers country. Yeah, but at least with bonfires, that's just about having a fire and eating decent food, isn't it? Halloween's about rotting teeth and crazy decorations. I mean, honestly, my house, it's already decorated for Halloween. It's full of cobwebs anyway, because I don't get a chance to clean anymore. So I've already got homegrown, realistic decorations without... I mean, and Halloween lights? Who needs Halloween lights? ABChibi09, thanks for stopping by, my friend. Hope to see you again very soon. Rain, do you need proper controls like a joystick, or can you use an Xbox controller? It all depends on how good you are at flying. And which aircraft you're flying, of course. The main thing is make sure you can control your aircraft and do everything that, that the controllers ask you to do. Christopher, you lock the door, turn the lights off and turn the doorbell off. Do you know, I don't even mind trick-or-treaters coming around. They can come round, they can pillage the sweetie jar. That doesn't bother me. If they must, they can dress up. But I'm not into the whole decorating the houses. I think my wife's corrupted our 6-year-old though. He's well into it. Christian, the amount of restarts that have to be done when installing new drivers and Windows updates are annoying. Christian, you could just stick with us on a tablet or a phone, couldn't you? Boarding time. Boarding time says you are the king. Thank you for everything that you do for all the flying nerds in the world like me. Boarding time, you are so welcome. Thanks very much for flying with us today and hopping on board. And I come to Northern Ireland and see out July bonfires. Yeah, I don't mind bonfires. Bonfires are good. And fireworks, I like fireworks. But then again, I'm a bit of a Scrooge when it comes to, let's say, fireworks either side of 24 hours of bonfire night. And in the middle of the day. I mean, what is the point of that? Why would you send them off in the middle of the day? You can't see them. And they drive the dogs nuts. So I like bonfire night, I like fireworks on bonfire night, or at least the closest Saturday, Friday night, near to bonfire night. Ah, Christian, fair dues, if you don't have a tablet, then that kind of stops that from being an option, doesn't it? Ooh, hello, where's that? Oh, I thought it was an airport. It's not, it's just a nicely laid out set of geometric shapes in a field. Thick Moisty, I'd better butter the landing while you go off to bed. Ah, we have to check back tomorrow and see how we go. But thanks for flying with us, Thick Moisty. It must be very late where you are. Rain, reject joysticks, you're going to use a keyboard. Well, hats off to you, sir. I most certainly could not fly using a keyboard. I like my peripherals. Destination estimated fuel on board is below minimums. Yeah, but that's because the fuel prediction page doesn't work, sadly. So 398 miles to go. Let's have a quick look and see if oh, why doesn't that put in the airport code? Have to do that manually. See if we've got any 80s from VATSIM available. Simon Irish, it was fun landing at Manchester about an hour ago. Best of luck. Well, I think the winds have slowly started to drop off. But we'll see. I think, what is she, 20 to midnight? Oh, 20 to midnight on a Thursday. Get yourself to bed, my friend. Rain, by the way, is the Easyjet coffee cup. Really like that. I doubt it. Looks neat though, doesn't it? NI, how do I do fuel checks? Okay, well that's a good question. We've got plenty of time to have a look at that as well. So let's go through the operational flight plan. Alright, so here is, if you're using the operational flight plan in the Easyjet format as well, because obviously I do, flying for Easyjet. So here is the fuel that you're going to need for your flight, and the planned block fuel, so that's your total fuel, is shown just here. We've got 8,092 kilograms, or 8.1 tons if we want to round it up. Now that you could load that amount of fuel, but I know that the Manchester weather is well, there's a chance for some windy gusts, stuff like that, some bad weather coming in, so it's very rare pilots would load exactly the planned block amount of fuel. There's other things as well, particularly at the moment. COVID is playing a part, so the APU is on a heck of a lot more than it normally is. If you've got thick cloud, you may have got lots of anti-ice that you're going to need throughout the climb, descent, etc. So it's always worth loading a little bit more. How much more depends on how bad the weather is as you're flying. So with the planned block fuel showing at 8.1 tons, I decided I'm going to load 9 tons. So that's 9,000. So I've loaded 9,000 tons. Well, that then is an extra ton, isn't it? Or rather, it's an extra 900 kilograms, isn't it? So I've loaded around an extra 900 kilograms. Okay, now let's look up here. You've also got a contingency, which is normally 5%. So you've got some contingency fuel as well. That is 287. So that is, added together, 1,187 kilograms of fuel. That is your extra fuel that I'm flying with today, 1,187. Okay, so now I know what extra fuel I've got on board. Let me go back to the... Oops. I'll try and get that working. There we go. Now let's have a look and see at the next waypoint, or the one we've just passed. We've just passed Ipsus, haven't we? So we've just passed Ipsus down there. Let's go ahead and find that on our flight plan. There it is. So there's Ipsus, and we should have then, this is our what's called company normal reserve. We don't want to drop below this. So we should have 3,357 kilograms of fuel at Ipsus, plus the extra 1,187 kilograms of fuel that we took extra. So then, if I bring that back, so that 1,187 kilograms of fuel plus 3,357 kilograms of fuel is 4,544. So we should have 4,544. We've got 4,620. So we've got 100 kilograms extra, and that's fine. It just means you burnt slightly less than anticipated during the climb and cruise, etc. So yeah, that's great. That's your fuel check done. So hopefully, NI, that's answered the question for you. And we wouldn't do that for every waypoint, of course. You'd normally do that sort of every hour or so. Rain, when you fly the FlyByWire NX, A320NX, you can't see the weather on the map, even when the train is turned off. Which version of the mod are you flying? Stable developer or experimental. Still wondering why I can't see that fix. On the range ring on the. Let's just check I put the correct Trent in there, shall we? $115 decimal 7. Yeah, that's the right one. I might have put the wrong one in. Ah, there it is, except I popped it into the radial field. I don't want a radial of 80, I want a radius of 80. There we go, there's our top of descent. The thing you hate about the Easyjet format is that it doesn't show the passengers or cargo to load. If it does, you'd use it instead of Lido. Of course it does. It's your payload weight. Remember, Easyjet would not load cargo. So if you're using SimBrief, don't load cargo. You don't touch cargo. Cargo remains blank. You just load passengers. And bear in mind, those passenger weights automatically include their baggage allowance as well. So the payload is 17576. So there you go. There's your payload. That's the passengers that you're loading. And if you have to know how many passengers that equates to, if you go to the McDo menu, the ATSU page, AOC, weight and balance, onto the second page, it'll tell you there. We've got 169 passengers on board today. Rain, I'm not sure the latest stable build, version 0.7.0, is actually compatible with SimUpdate 6. Version 0.7.1 is imminent, so I'd fly the developer or the experimental for now. Willie, thanks for stopping by, my friend, and enjoy your work stuff. Jenny, would we step climb to optimum? No, we're at flight level 380. We can't go to flight level 390 because we're flying the wrong way. Rain, no, it doesn't show clouds, it only shows precipitation and turbulence. Flight 123, when descending, should you manually put in the feet per minute or not? No, I'd begin in open descent. I begin in open descent and then I tweak it, depending on how I'm doing with the rate of descent and the profile. Cloudless skies over France today. Oh, that looks nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an Easyjet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us. We join you in the cabin shortly.
So, why doesn't it show you the amount of passengers on the operational flight plan? Velox, it really doesn't matter. You're not concerned with how many passengers you've got, unless you're declaring a mayday. Let the cabin crew worry about that, make sure the manifest is correct. All you need to know is what your payload is. That's what you're going to be using. Racetrack down there. Rain, how far out should you start the descent? That depends on how high you are and what the wind is, tailwind or headwind, etc. use the rule of 3. Dark Fury, have a safe landing over the hill at Manchester. Yeah, I like to cheat. I don't want to try and flatten the hill at Manchester. I just like to land on the down slope. It's much smoother rather than the hill, the ground coming up to meet you. That little hump at Manchester, which HD's been trying to flatten for years. Big Z, is there a specific button you need to press for passenger announcements? They're from self-loading cargo, Big Z, so I use an external app for those. And how do you set the passengers with the payload though? With the Taurus, there is not an AOC menu, you just enter the amount of passengers. Well, the other thing you can do then is, if you know what SimBrief is using for its passenger numbers, then you can just do the mental arithmetic. I think by default SimBrief sets the payload as 104 kilograms per passenger. So you can just use that. Thanks for stopping by, Rain. And yeah, check out the video on calculating your top of the ascent on the channel, and hopefully that will explain in a lot more detail, and you'll obviously see how that's done. Oh, guys, big news! We have topped 17,000 subscribers. We've got 17,004 subscribers. So thank you so much to those of you that have subscribed during this flight today. You've made a milestone. Really, really do appreciate every single one of you that subscribes to the channel. It's made a fantastic community over the last 12 months or so. So a huge thank you to all of you for that. Now I'm just having a look as we start to get close to the UK. Looks like we still don't have any ATC around, which is a shame, but never mind. Justin, you live near Manchester Airport in real life, so you're excited for me to come and land there in the simulator. Well, Justin, I'm excited because on Monday I'm going to Manchester, just for a day out. I haven't had a chance to do so in a long time, and nothing I like more than sitting in the beer garden at the airport pub and watching the aircraft land. Of course, if the weather's a bit rubbish, we might have to rethink, sadly. Flight Sim 123, so this is kind of a 17,000 special, unofficially. Yeah. Christopher, Nick, thank you so much for the congratulations. Two of our oldest channel members. Nick, how many stripes have you got there? You got 3. How long have you been a member now? Quaffle, hello my friend. Not seen you for a while. Good to see you. Alex5150 says, hi Gavin, I know you must have come across a series about the EasyJet Simpa. Oh yes, yeah. It was EasyJet in the cockpit, something like that, isn't it? I forget what the actual title is called, but yeah, very, very, very good. Particularly when he breaks the windscreen wiper. Thankfully it's not on the mail list. Oh, Simon, thank you so much, Simon, for your €5 donation. And Simon says, huge congratulations on the 17,000. It's amazing how this channel has grown. Simon, it is absolutely amazing. And it's thanks to people like you and others in the community that have helped to grow the channel. Really, really kind of you, that, Simon. Thank you so much. Very, very much appreciated. And yeah, another long-time supporter of the channel as well. So thank you very much, Simon. That's very, very kind of you. William Blanton, good morning, sir. Good morning. You're in the USA. Are you USA or Canada? I can't remember, William. My apologies. Quaffle, I do remember you vaguely. Good to have you back. Nick, you've been a member since 2 minutes after I announced it. Oh, that's the best answer to any question. Thank you, Nick. Oh, right. Well, with that, we should probably start looking at preparing for some descent in a minute. Velox, that was scary. You were putting in your arrivals. 80s came on. back to the cockpit view, and you're climbing 6,000 feet per minute installing. Yeah, that's not good. Quaffle, you've now got a new graphics card, the RTX 3060. Wow, that must have cost a bit. That's the one, yeah. Easyjet inside the cockpit. I've just broke the Viper. Always remember that cut scene. He's now famous. Justin 6, yeah, I think I'm going there with my my eldest, and all he wants to do is take some money and buy some jets. I'm not sure it's the Gemini jets that I let him purchase though. FlySim123, is it just you that whenever they hear an aircraft, you rush onto Flight Radar 24 to see which aircraft it is? No, no. Well, what I do is I see the aircraft, I then guess the aircraft, the airline, and the route, and then I open the app up to see how many out of the 3 I got right. So, let's just get all the latest information from Manchester.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
I think some of the inside the cockpits are now on YouTube, aren't they? Not quite sure how legal that is, but I'm almost certain some of them are there. Okay, let's have a look at these charts for the arrival. So we're on the Dane 2 Alpha arrival today. We've already worked out our top of the set. It's going to be 80 miles from Trent. That gets us to flight level 200 by 25 miles before the Trent VOR, and then we'll continue to descend down. That's going to be 25 flight level 200 by Elvos. And then we want to be flight level 80 at Dane. From Dane, we're on our own. ATC would pick us off here if they were online, of course. You can see, do not proceed beyond Dane without ATC clearance. So, from there, we will vector ourselves in. So we'll take a northerly routing in and round onto the ILS for runway 23. So I'm going to check a couple of things. First of all, it's going to be runway 23 right in use. Dane 2 Alpha is the star. And transition altitude in Manchester is 5,000 feet. The platform altitude for this approach is 3,500 feet. Minimum safe altitude as we make that arrival in from the southeast is 3,100 feet. But then as we're actually on the ILS, 3,500 feet is the MSA, which is okay because that's our platform altitude anyway. I'll check the weather in a minute, but I believe runway visual range is going to be above 550 meters. So Cat 1 approach 449 is our decision altitude, and that ILS frequency is 109.5. Airport elevation, or landing elevation, is 249. Missed approach. Climb to flight level 350, straight ahead till passing 750 feet, or a distance of 0 on the ILS DME, whichever is later. It's a right turn to track 357, and then is directed. On landing, we will vacate. Oh, why have I not got that chart up? Let me get the chart up for Manchester. There it is. So we'll be vacating right I want that chart load. There we go. We'll vacate right and most likely vacate onto Bravo Delta. If for some reason it's a slightly longer landing, then it's going to be Alpha Echo. We'll hold past the stop bars and then we'll taxi in via Alpha and Bravo, and we'll park at well, we can either park at Juliet Echo or the other side of Lima. So that's how we're doing it. Let's just talk then quickly about how we're going to configure the aircraft for landing. Renato, thank you so much, Renato, for your $4.99 donation there to say congratulations on passing 17,000. Great job. Yeah, just passed 17,000 a little bit ago on this stream, so thank you so much, Renato. That's very, very kind of you, and really appreciate the support to the channel. Good to have you on board again with us, Renato. So yes, thank you so much for that. So on leaving Dane, we're going to be at flight level 80. We'll leave Dane 80. We'll descend down to 3,500 feet. As we do that, we'll start to roll back to green dot, and then as we're coming around, we'll roll back to green dot. We'll get flaps 1 out, set 180 knots, flaps 2 before intercepting the localizer, picking up the glide slope. Go down the glide slope, configure as normal. So there's the plan. Now all we have to do is execute it. And we're about 80, probably about 100 miles away from our top of descent at the moment. Simon! Hello Simon, hope you're well. Quaffle, you've got to head to class. Good luck, learn well. Thanks for stopping by. Flight Sim 123, you're going to be at Keflavik in around 45 minutes. Hope the weather is good there. Christian, you're going to head back to the couch again, still feeling wobbly. What you need to do, Christian, is you need to pop us on your smartphone, cast it to your TV, and then you can enjoy the landing with us. I do quite like doing that. If I'm having an evening off streaming, the kids are in bed, the wife's working, I'll quite happily sit there and watch a nice flight. So many good streamers on YouTube now. Occasionally I'll go on Twitch as well to watch some of those. Big Z96, what's the reason that the ILS for 23 right is so weird? It like flies you over the airport and then has you come back on yourself in a strange loop. Okay, so a lot of people have this with Manchester, and it's caused so many problems because Manchester is a big airport that people want to fly to. So let's try and clear this up. The arrival at Manchester takes you via, or the published procedure takes you via the Mike Charlie Tango VOR, the Manchester VOR. That is the initial approach fix for the flight. So what would happen is you would, in Microsoft Flight Simulator, bear in mind air traffic control Microsoft Flight Simulator default, it's not intelligent. So it takes you to Dane, which is fine, but then straight after Dane it flies you to the initial approach fix. That initial approach fix is the Manchester VOR. So the full procedure, let's say I was flying in real life, and then I lost radio communication. I lost all my radio communications. At that point, I would then have to fly the full published procedure, which is what Microsoft Flight Simulator ATC has you do for every arrival, because it's not intelligent enough to give you vectors for the ILS. So it takes you from Dane straight to the Manchester VOR, Mike Charlie Tango, and then from there, as you say, it flies you over the runway here, and it flies you back out to a distance of 12.3 miles from the Mike Charlie Tango VOR. You then would make a loop to come out and back round line up with the ILS. That is the full procedure, and almost all airports have this full procedure. Birmingham has it, even Amsterdam has it as well. But you would never fly the full procedure in real life. What would ordinarily happen is you get to Dane, do not proceed beyond Dane without ATC clearance, and then from Dane, the real life air traffic controllers would say, okay, easy, 56 Tango Whiskey, fly heading 020, and then we'd fly off in this way. Then they'd say, fly heading 270, intercept ILS, and we'd come round there to land. The Microsoft Flight Simulator Navigraph add-on, yeah, that's what I'm using for this. Oh, HD is back. Hello, HD. You've got some moments peace. Wonder how long it'll last. Right, so I think that is the south coast of England. Look at that weather out over the Atlantic. There. It can stay there until we've landed. Alan, the camera views that I'm using are custom views that I've set up. You can download these as well to pop into your own flight simulator. There's a video on the YouTube channel, and the file to download them is available on our Discord server. If anyone wants to go ahead and grab those. Sadly, still no ATC at Manchester. Now, now we've just briefed how we're going to make the approach, how we're going to fly the approach. Let's just check, shall we? That latest weather that we requested. And, oh no, look at that. Okay, so wind is 180 at 11. With gusts up to 21 knots. Variable as well, that could be interesting. Scattered 2,500 feet, towering cumulus. Visibility is 10 kilometers or more. QNH is 1001. Still going to be a Cat 1 approach then. Andy will land in around half an hour. So that QNH 1001. Temperature is... oh, what was the temperature? I didn't scribble the temperature down. Did anyone catch that? That's why I like the print button, but I daren't press it. 16. If anyone's wondering why the PTU is kicking in, it's not. It's the first officer kicking in. So that wind is 180... at 11. Transition altitude is 5,000 feet. And the barrow is 449. All done. Ooh, that looked a little bit blurry, didn't it, just then? I don't like it when the simulator does that. I kind of have palpitations as to whether it's actually going to continue and reset itself and carry on, or whether it's just going to crash the desktop. Justin, no, I've never used Pilot Edge. Probably because I prefer flying here in Europe, to be honest. Ryan Video, you're currently flying the A340-600. Yeah, I did have to chuckle when I was looking online at lots of different social media yesterday, well, the last few days. Basically, VATSIM was just full of A340s. More A340s flying in the virtual world than the real world at the minute. HD is minus 61 degrees. Well, it might be at this temperature, at this altitude, but Hopefully not when we get into Manchester. HD, I can put a pre-selected speed in for the descent. I'm almost certain I can. So, hang on. That's the cruise, there's the descent. Yeah, so I could set that to 270. Do you concur? We're about 40 miles from our top of descent now. The clouds on the flight today really have looked nice. Definitely an improvement since Sim Update 6. But is it as good as pre-Sim Update 5? Difficult to say, isn't it? Without side-by-side comparisons. Let's put 270 in. There we go. Right, First Officer George has just alerted me to Amazon at the door. I don't want to answer this because I know what they're delivering. I'll be back in a second. Oh yeah, there that was. Amazon giving me some Halloween tat. Justin 6, you've got to go to work. Thanks so much for flying with us today, Justin. Hope to see you again very soon. Hey Drini, hope you've had a good day at school and learnt a lot. Still no ATC at Manchester, sadly. William, Amazon are delivering at 38,000 feet now. Yes. Kind of breaks the immersion a little bit, isn't it? Alan, at what point would you transition from doing 250 knots below 1,000 to a lower speed to get ready for the approach? Well, just as we briefed, we're going to leave Dane, and as we leave Dane, I'm going to start slowing down to green dot, and from there we'll continue all our way down. We'll get flaps 1 out at a sensible time, and then we'll set 180 knots on the speed as we make the turn for intercepting the localizer. We'll get flaps 2 out with the glide slope. So yeah, every approach is slightly different. We can see that top of descent is coming up. And why bother setting up on VATSIM when there's no ATC? Well, to be fair, setting up VATSIM isn't exactly difficult. You just file a flight plan, which is all done automatically on SimBrief. Plus, you never know when ATC are going to come online. So let's just have a look, see if TCAS has got anything around us. There's an aircraft ahead of us, about 25 miles out. He's 8,000 feet below us. And we'll start to head down now to flight level 200.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, you will be to our destination, at which point the cabin crew will start preparing for our arrival. If you could please make sure that all the aisles are clear and the cabin crew are able to make their way around the aircraft without any luggage in the aisles, that would be most appreciated. A reminder for our Easyjet pilot members that free drinks are still available from the cabin crew until the seat.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw that.
Please note, however, that the toilets will shortly go out.
It was about to nosedive me because it wanted to go down to 270 knots. I don't want to do that because it'll have me going down about 6,000 feet per minute and overspeeding. But we've got now thrust idle, open descent 200 blue. And that's looking better. So we'll increase that ourselves. Putting a max speed in there would have been better, wouldn't it? Could we have put a max speed in there? I don't know if we could. Okay, on our way down, we've got one aircraft in front of us. We'll keep an eye on that. Only the one that I can see. There's one behind us as well. Don't think he's going to be in our way. Defi Hunter, are there any airliners worth buying now in the sim? You've been offline for ages. Probably not. Not any must-haves. The Hawkjet's out now, isn't it? But that's not an airliner. So we can see Elvos is around 30 miles away. That's going to work out quite nicely. We want to be flight level 200 by Elvos. Gabriel, how do I know what my ETA is? I can always check the flight plan. So ETA is 13:27. That's UTC's time, of course. We're 100 miles away. HD, you want to take the Airbus for a spin through the Mach loop? I'm not sure that's permitted, is it? From Elvos then, we're going to continue down to flight level 80. EQ, you've now been running into an issue where you can't get IFR clearance from the default ATC in the fly-by-wire aircraft. Which version of the fly-by-wire aircraft, EQ? In the experimental, I don't think you're going to be able to, just because it doesn't use the default flight planner. Ugh, don't like the look of that weather. Sidon 63, I don't know when it will get updated, I'm afraid. Afraid not. Shouldn't be too far away now that it is in testing. HT, yeah, that's right. There's the TCUs that were reported on the Meta. Has anybody else found that the weather in Macco Flight Simulators is getting a lot more accurate recently? It does seem to be better than it perhaps used to be. Oh, Christopher, did it work before Sim Update 6? Ah. Well, hang on, actually, if people are trying to do it in the stable build doesn't work properly after Sim Update 6. There's a new one about to be released. 0.7.1, that'll come out soon. Okay, we're on our way down. We've got the weather and the landing information. FMGC is set. Let me just double check the RadNav actually. 109.5. I'm going to pop the Mike Charlie Tango VOR in there as well. We'll turn that on. And that'll give me a bit of help with our distance. There we go, 61 miles away. Landing elevation is 249. Auto brake low. Arrival briefing has been done. Radar is up, so I can't turn the terrain radar on. 1001 on the standby. Andrea 1604, you don't need VNAV. If you needed VNAV, no one would have been able to fly these aircraft in the simulator since the date was released. The film grain is turned off on my user config at the moment. Drini, those clouds are on Ultra. We may. Where's the sun? Just having a look at its arrival. The sun's going to be in... shouldn't be in our eyesight. It's a bit too early in the day for that, but that's something to be aware of as we come on in. Sainsbury's! You'll use LNAV in the 737. Sorry, Sainsbury's just completely caught my eye there. Are you the chief director of Sainsbury's? What a great username. That's got to be right up there, one of the best ones I've seen. Welcome, Sainsbury's. Are you supplying the in-flight food for this this journey? Jenny, you sat under that cloud in Devon and it's pretty awful here. Oh dear. Speed and Alt Star. Let's continue down flight level 80. Thrust idle open descent 080 blue. Andrea 1604. It's there just to make workload management a little easier. But even when you're using it, you should still be monitoring it. Make sure that the profile's correct. So there's Dane. From Dane, we might not fly the exact track that it's given us. Oh, let's just check it. You'd probably get a slightly nicer track from So you might get a much nicer, less acute angle to come in from ATC. So if we sort of aimed to get our aircraft over here, then make the left base turn. Otherwise, we're going to fly straight through that localizer. And I don't want to do that. Quick check to see if there's still any ATC around. No, still on our own. Turgay, hello my friend, hope you're well. Well guys, this has been a great flight so far. We have surpassed 17,000 subscribers during this flight, so once again a big thanks to each and every one of you for that. Please do give the stream a like.
Manchester traffic, ED2781 approaching Dane. We'll be making a right turn to line up with ILS 23 right.
There we go, so there's traffic in front of us. I've not got him on TCAS yet though, but I think he's far enough out for us not to be too concerned. Right, this could get bumpy. Landing checklist. Minimums 449 set. Engine mode selector normal. Electronic flight bag is stowed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you could please return to your seats and ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. If you are travelling with an infant, please ensure that they are secured safely using the infant seatbelt provided. The toilets will now go out of use until the fasten seatbelt sign is turned on. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
So there's that traffic there on TCAS. Yeah, it's probably about 12.5 miles in front of us. He's well below us though. Wow, that looks interesting. It's going to get very dark, isn't it? A little bit of wing flex there as well. Oh, Christian, did I faux pas? Did I say landing checklist? Should we go with approach checklist instead? Right checklist, wrong name. Leroy, you fell asleep when we departed. You woke up just in time for landing. That sounds highly realistic. Okay, I'm going to need some speed brakes, I think. I don't want to get too close to that aircraft ahead of us, so let's just deploy some speed brakes.
We're getting some quite heavy turbulence as approach to 2 feet right.
Lovely. Manchester traffic, easy 56 Tango Whiskey is 10 miles inbound Dane for the ILS approach. Runway 23 right, will fly outbound from Dane. Now I'm just wondering where this aircraft's going actually. If that is the one that's going into Manchester, he has slowed right down. And I'm wondering actually, I'm not convinced. He certainly didn't fly to Dane before making that that right-hand turn, did he? Let's just keep that descent up a little bit, and I'm just going to roll that speed back to 250 knots. I've just slowed it down to 500 feet per minute, just so we can lose speed but still continue some descent. So if that aircraft is coming into Manchester, I expect to see him now flying outbound over here. Let's just check. Yeah, so I expect to see him flying outbound over here and then back in and around. That's 10,000 feet. Thrust idle, open descent. So we're a little bit high, but that's okay at the moment. I've still got speed brakes out, of course. I'm now going to pop the aircraft into heading mode and spin it around this way. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to follow his flight path. That way we know we're going to be safe from him. He's 7.5 miles ahead of us. Let's follow his flight path because I don't want to come in and cut him up. They don't call me Nick. Okay, landing lights on and anti-ice on. Why are the nose lights on? Activate the approach phase. Speed alt start. We're going to continue descending now down to 3,500 feet. Thrust idle, over descent, and we'll set local QNH 1001, 3500 blue.
Manchester traffic, pilots just be aware, suffering a massive wind shear at the moment, currently 5,000 feet.
That's good to know. Manchester traffic, easy 56 Tango Whiskey, following the aircraft ahead of us, who's just giving us the P-rep. Thanks very much, we'll follow you, and good luck.
Roger that.
So hand on the speed brake still. HD, we're not below minimum safe altitude, I think. We're minimum safe altitude in this sector is 3,100 feet. At least it is if I'm in the right place. Okay, time to start getting serious. Oh, goodness me, that's bumpy.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Glad we got that seatbelt sign on nice and early. There's that glide slope. Start slowing down. VAPS 137. We could increase that slightly if we're going to have issues. Tell you what I will do very quickly.
$2,500.
I was just going to pop that outbound radial in, so I've got an extended centre line. But we need to start making that left turn now.
2,500.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Just watching that turbulent speed tape. Glide slope blue, lock blue, cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. Let's roll this back to 180. Lock star. A great view coming in over the Pennines.
2781 descending on the glide path to free right.
Manchester traffic easy 56 Tango Whiskey establishing 18 miles, runway 23 right. When you're driving over the Woodhead Pass and you see aircraft coming in and doing this, it looks spectacular.
Behind, still getting that turbulence, so just good luck to you as well.
Roger, easy 56 Tango Whiskey. Okay, we'll go flaps 2 as soon as we see the glide slope moving. We'll get the cabin seated.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Cabin crew, seats for landing.
Looking at that wind as well.
Crosswind as well, just so you're aware.
Okay, we can get rid of the anti-ice. The haze through that early afternoon sun might make seeing that runway a tad difficult. Okay, glide slope is alive. Flaps 2, speed check. Flaps 2. 13 miles.
Manchester traffic, easy 2781 on final, 23 right.
This is a little bit bumpy.
500.
You can see we've just lost a bit of airspeed there. Let's hope that wind drops off a little bit, shall we? 12 miles out. Get the glide slope in a second. Glide slope star. Missed approach altitude is 3,500 feet. It's already set. Given the wind and the gusts, it's a nice long runway, but what we could do is perhaps increase ever so slightly the VAP. $10 miles.
Manchester traffic, easy 2781, now on short final, 23 right, short final.
We're now visual. Let's add an extra, go on, we'll add an extra 5 knots. It's a long runway,
2,500.
plenty of places to vacate, so we're not going to roll to the end.
2,500.
Radar altimeter is alive again.
2,500.
Look at that crabbing angle. $8 miles. Roll that back to 160 knots. Not only is it gusting, but it's also variable as well. Okay, let's get configured. So, just past 7 miles. Landing gear.
Manchester
Spoilers.
traffic, easy 2781, clear of 23 right.
Get all the lights on. Flaps 3. And he's now cleared. Let's go into manage speed. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin secured. Auto thrust. Speed. Go around altitude 3,500 set. ECAP memo. Landing no blue. Manchester traffic. Easy 56 Tango Whiskey. Established runway 23 right. 5 miles. Just in case, missed approach briefing is toga, go around flaps, pitch up, normal takeoff 17 and a half, positive rate, gear up, and a right hand turn. Check the FMAs, Right hand turn at 750 feet.
1,000.
Set climb thrust. 1,000 feet. Autopilot off. I have control. So we're just watching the wind buffeting the nose of the aircraft from the left. We've increased the VAP slightly to
500.
try and offset that that crosswind. Don't want to get below the glide slope. Let's just
400.
pull that back up. Keep on that centre line. It is a bit wobbly.
100 above.
Try not to overcorrect as well on landings like this.
200. Minimum.
Continue. There's the hump. We'll try and ignore that.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Oh, the hump came up to meet us. That's nice. Spoilers deployed. Idle reverse. Decel. And we can vacate just there. Knock off the auto brake.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off.
Oh, let's
Portable
keep moving. There is an
electronic
aircraft waiting to
devices for
depart.
messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out.
Manchester traffic runway 23 right
Smoking is not
vacated.
permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your Easyjet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or Easyjet app.
I don't mind a little bounce. The hump came up to meet us. That was nice. Let's tidy the aircraft up and we'll get taxied in. Welcome to Manchester, folks. Looking forward to coming here on Monday in the real world. If you did enjoy that then, guys, and you're on your way out, please do hit like on the stream for me. Makes a huge difference to the channel. It really does. So thank you for that. Christopher, have I turned off the taxi light? Oh, I did. One too many clicks. And you got in there, Christopher, just before HD did as well. That's always a brownie point if you beat HD. So we'll go and park at stand, I don't know, 2, 4, 6 or 8. Take your choice. I love Macco Simulations airport. Looks absolutely fantastic. Birmingham is good as well. Stand 12, that's where Emirates park their A380. Not a little Learjet, as appears to be parked just there. Okay, let's go for yeah, let's go for stand. In fact, you know what? Should we go stand 6, or should we go in the corner with one of the jetways? Stand 20. Is it 21 or 23? '23 it is. Wow, it looks dark and dull over in Manchester, doesn't it? Now, what's the chance of stopping straight on the 320 lines? I doubt it. Without the marshaller or the guide. Job done. Parking brake set. Engines 1 and 2 shut down. And we can turn off those seatbelt signs once the logbook is out of the way. Oh, they've moved those, haven't they? I need to read. Continue. And turn the beacon light off as well. Lovely stuff. Have we got any ground vehicles to services? No, we can call those though on our trusty tablet. Here they come. So now I should be able to get the external power connected up. Fuel pumps can come off. And there we go. Kind of just starting in your house again, HD. Good luck to you. All right, there we are, safely in Manchester, and wow, I love Macco Simulations' rendition of Manchester. Looks really good. If you guys haven't got this, then you really need to go and get it. So much detail, both in this and Birmingham, which is the other airport that they've done. It looks really, really good, really cool. And as someone who knows Manchester Airport quite well, I can say it looks incredibly realistic as well. Right guys, thank you so much for flying with me during our flight today. Hope you've enjoyed that. A 2.5 hour flight from Alicante to Manchester. That's my last live stream now until probably Sunday evening. So thank you very much to all of you that have donated and contributed to the channel during the flight today. Thank you to the Easyjet SimPilot channel members, as always, for your continued support, and essentially just to every one of you who has helped us pass the 17,000 subscribers landmark during the flight this afternoon. Really appreciate that. It means so much. Thank you so much, guys. I look forward to seeing you on another Real Ops flight very, very soon. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And of course, if you could also like the stream for me on the way out, if you haven't done so already, then I would really, really appreciate that. Thanks so much, everyone. I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, I hope you have enjoyed your flight with us today here on Easyjet. On behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, we wish you a safe and pleasant journey from the airport, and we hope to see you again very soon. In order to increase the comfort of your next flight, please take a look at joining the Easyjet SimPilot channel, and we offer extra perks for those frequent flyers. We look forward to seeing you again